think I was around 5 years old when I started soccer. And of course, I wasn't good.
What were your feelings? What were your thoughts like when you started saying, "Oh man, it's kind of harder than just
I was
kicking the ball
like,
around"?
it sure doesn't look that hard on television.
Julia's been playing for the Bolingbrook Soccer Club actually dating back to when she was 5 years old, so 2005. She's been part of the travel program since they were basically 8 years old. So she's been with the club for a number of years.
Like when I saved like my first goal, like a big save, I was like, I liked doing that, and I liked how like everybody counted on me and stuff.
When we first started, they were, I think U8, U9. We came to the very first games that we played were here at our Labor Day tournament. Girls didn't win a game. They didn't score a goal. We walked away from that moment going, what the heck did we get ourselves into? You know, we really were just kind of in shock. And at that point, we sort of rotated everybody around. Everybody got a chance to play goal if you wanted to. Julia mostly played up front, was a striker. She was incredibly fast. She was just about like all the other kids, you know, kind of a little lacking in skill. That started to develop, and then, you know, one year she said, I want to play goal. I said, really? Okay. And, you know, we started splitting and rotating it between her and the other goalie, and then pretty soon it got to the point where it was like, there's no need to rotate them anymore. You go and you play goal.
He's been like improving my like field, so like when like defenders pass it back, I'm more like better at passing it back at them instead of like just kicking it out. And like I'm also good at like using my touch as well, and I have better technique because sometimes like I make a little mistake and he corrects me, like make sure I get behind the ball. Sometimes he's like, go get that ball, don't let them get it. Like he encourages me to do like work my hardest to get the ball and like make sure I'm on my top of my game. Enough if I'm slacking off, like he does that to me now. If I'm like slacking off, staring off to space, he yells at me, said get back in the game. Which I'm kind of happy he does, because sometimes that really comes in use.
Strength-wise, it's fearlessness, I think, is probably the best characteristic that a goalie can have. One or two times, it seemed like it was once every game, but it was, you know, once every couple games. The opposing coach would look at us on the bench and go, she's really good. She's really good. Coaches usually don't exchange those kinds of conversations with each other during the game. There was one instance we were playing a United Soccer Academy club out of Darien, Downers Grove, Hinsdale area, and a girl was on a breakaway with her, and she dove right at her feet. And their coach looked over at us and goes, seriously, coach, a girl her age diving at a girl's feet to make a save? He said, you don't see that. So there's this fearlessness within her. She is a very strong-willed competitor as well, which you need as a goalie. She takes it personal. When she gets scored on, it's a personal assault on her, and prides herself on going into every game thinking the other team is not going to score.
So the Olympic Development Program is part of the Illinois Youth Soccer Association, which the Bolingbrook Soccer Club is affiliated with. Anybody can join the training opportunities. So you actually register, and it's part of the identification process. You go through a series of training sessions from roughly about November through March and April. And during that time, you're having coaches, collegiate coaches, other coaches from other soccer clubs at the state level and regional level, evaluating the talent on the field. And it's really how they demonstrate certain skills in the training, but also there's the coachability things too, and how did they take instruction, build off of that, and apply it. So I think it's more important for a female soccer player to be well-rounded and not necessarily just all focusing on skills, but it's all the other tactics, and which is pretty important as a goalkeeper too, because in some cases you might have games where you're not touching the ball quite frequently, so you still got to remain active in the role or in the position. And how you communicate on the field, how do you be a good teammate, how you work with the others on the field to really keep the flow of the game going. You're almost kind of like the pilot on the field and driving, making sure that everything is going well, because you have really the goalkeeper has the best view of the game during that point. So during the ODP process, they look for a lot of things, but they had these 8 training sessions, and they have a friendly game in the spring, and really all that all the coaches evaluate all the sort of things that it's important for them to be in the state team. They only are able to select a few goalkeepers and position players really to go on to the next step, which is the state combine. From there, they're usually selecting about half of those that are invited to the state combine. And then, once you get selected to be on the state team, you go on to a regional camp. The next step from there is the national team. So all the girls are prepared to, at some point, find some sort of setback. Unless you're going to be the starting goalkeeper for the national team, there will be some point where you're going to be disappointed. Either you didn't make it too far, you're not good enough. And it's important for girls, I think, this age, to understand how to deal with those setbacks and not take it personally and just use it as a way to improve their game.
It's got to be hundreds of thousands of kids that play soccer on a club level throughout the state of Illinois. Northern Illinois and up here in the Chicago area even, in the hundreds of thousands. It seems like each town, each suburb will have one, if not 2. Naperville's probably got 3 or 4 clubs that are pulling in 15 kids on a team, 7, 8, 10, 20 teams in a club. I mean, you're talking a massive amount of kids. To be selected as one of just even on the state team would be an incredible thing. You field 10 on the field, to be one of those 10, or they'll probably keep 20 on the team. One of those 20. Now you're talking about a goalie position where there's maybe 2, maybe 3 kids. This is one of the top kids in the state of Illinois for their age group. That is, it's a goosebump type thing to think about and go, really, you're one of the best goalies at this point in the state of Illinois for your age group, and that's quite an honor.
I tell myself, even if you don't make that save, at least you tried. You have to try your best, and if you make the save, good. If you don't, shake it off. You can always work to get it and use it as a lesson. Don't do that next time, or be more smarter next time when you do that play.
Not only am I proud for my daughter, and I'm proud as her being a player on my team, there have been many times Julia has made this team successful. We've won first place championships with having a lot of her games being 1-0, 2-0 games. It's very important in the goalkeeper, and I try to be a coach during those things, but I'm also a proud parent.
We've stressed with all our kids from the time that we started. We stressed with them being able to learn and grow and get better. And she does that, and you can see it. You can see her going and doing the extra work, putting in the extra training time. We ask the kids, do some work at home, do some of this. She goes and does the work at home. She'll go out of her way to get extra goalie training and just putting that extra work in, and you can tell that on the field. And that's a message that we try to get across to all our kids. Not all 13-year-old girls are willing to do that. And if she's going to keep that work ethic and keep doing that, soccer will be one of these things that can expose her to fantastic experiences. on the field, off the field. She gets to go, you know, gets to go places and play and see things and do things that other kids won't get a chance to do. And that will be, I mean, it's all because of the hard work that she puts in. And that's a great, great message for everybody to learn. Work hard, great things happen. And she's learned that. It's good to see.